Listen to the voices crying to be free. Can we be the promise that we promised to be? Love and understanding are better than a war. People just laughing cause they've heard it before.
I suggest we're now going to go south of the border because we've got a few Mexicans here. So Zyntya, hello, let's unmute you. Yes, you're on. Oh, your microphone is not working.
There, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
If you can speak a bit loud, can you put it closer to your mouth? The microphone, yes.
There.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Better?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so well, where to
Hola.
start? Hello, everyone. Well, my story starts. I've been married 19 years this year, even though I said I would never get married. Anyways, after Up With People, I studied graphic design, my bachelor's. Then I went and lived for 4 years in London while studying my master's degree. And Ido and I didn't come to be there by a couple of months difference at the same time. So anyways, and then I came back to Mexico after 4 years of living in London, did some graphic design work. I wanted to wait as long as possible to have children, and I did. So my children are really young. They are 7 and 3. So I'm an old mom, but I'm very happy. I think I did a lot in that time that I waited. So my husband, I got introduced to him by my ex-boyfriend, which is also a nice story to hear. But what else? I live in Mexico City, so you are very, 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 very welcome to come. I was telling Raul that it's not very appealing or sexy to come to Mexico City, but there's a lot to see here. So if you ever want to come, please either tell me, call me. We'll find a way for you to stay at my home, or for sure I'll take you places here. What else? The lockdown. Well, in Mexico, it's kind of hard because the government hasn't been dealing with it very intelligently. So a lot of us have been doing the lockdown by our own.
Wow.
Because we have people elsewhere telling us how things are going. So that lets us know, how to react in advance.
Yeah.
My children go to a French school. So since France was doing the lockdown a lot long before us, they gave us the order of, children not going to the school anymore. So our family started the lockdown about a week before all schools started in Mexico. And then until after 2 weeks, the general lockdown started. In general, I think in Mexico, people sadly are not realizing the impact of how things are going to be. So you still go outside and you still see people, not to talk about masks or gloves, they are there outside. But anyways, we are a developing country, so that's why. So anyways, for us, the lockdown has been, not that hard. As many of you say, me and my family are thankful that we have nothing to complain about, having a house, having food, having everything. Yes, handling the children all day long, yeah, that's an issue, but you know, never mind. We just deal with it. And yeah, again, also big cheers to all teachers everywhere in the world, because now you realize the work they do every day, all day, and pretty much sometimes underestimated but by all what they do. So in a way, I think that my children are really young. I mean, they are 7 and 3. So one is in first grade and the other one is in kinder 1. So really, I can't complain much about having a lot of work. But they do have Zoom reunions too, which is kind of funny. But so we do the job, we do the videos, the singing, and so in general, we are not having that, that bad time. But it's also, I guess it's also a thing in your mind, knowing that you cannot go out because they tell you not to go out. It's harder because you know you can't. So anyways, in general, we are handling it okay. The family, it's okay. In general, all the family, there's no one in my family or my husband's family, struggling with health or financial issues or house issues. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the floor? Okay, thank you. Muchas gracias, right? So let's move to someone not too far. Where is Malena here? Malena, so we keep the Mexican story there. Where is she? Jorge, you're next. Be ready.
I didn't see Malena.
Yeah, she's here. She's here. Malena, you're on.
Hey.
Let me just.
Can't hear her.
Yes. Yeah, you can speak.
Hello.
Hello.
It's great to see everyone. I haven't seen the most of you. Well, I'm fine. I have 3 children. I've been married for almost 12 years. I'm happy. I'm locked down in my house, but I love it, so I don't care. I know outside of in Mexico, like Zyntya said, everybody's out, everybody's doing their life. Most the poor people, so I think they are gonna have a very hard time. In 1 or 2 weeks, we are gonna start with a very difficult time.
Where do you live in Mexico?
Sorry?
Where do you live in Mexico?
In Puebla. I live 1 hour from Zyntya, from Mexico City.
Okay.
I think that's about it. I'm not working right now. I'm taking care of my children. They are young. The older is 10 years old, and then I have twins, a boy and girl. They are 7 years old, and I just stay home with them. I go things with them all the time. That's about it.
Are you in lockdown at all, or are you? Oh.
Older.
Okay. Are you in any lockdown, or are you basically having completely normal life?
No, I'm on lockdown since I think it was 10th of March. So I have been in my house from more than a month.
And you're doing it to yourself. It's not that the government tells you to do that. You're doing it.
Yeah, The school said that there were some cases here in Puebla and in Mexico, and I see all around the world. So we decide to stay home. I see what will happen in Mexico. I know.
Do a lot of parents do that too, or are you in a?
Yeah, all my family is in their house. I haven't seen my parents. Well, I can go in the car and just put out of their house and say hello, and from the window they say hello.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem of that, but we don't want to see them because we were in Indian Wells just the day before it was closed because of coronavirus. Then we went to a school sport thing, and it was closed in the middle because of coronavirus there. So we lock down just in case. We don't have anything, but we just wanna take care of my parents because they are old and
makes sense. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to switch to Renee because she needs to go soon, apparently. So, Jorge, you hold your pants or underwear. And let's find Renee. Where is she? Renee, you're next. Let me just unmute you. Hello, New York.
Hey everyone. Am I
How are you
unmuted?
doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi everyone. So good to see everybody. It's been a while for some of you. I have been able to see a couple people, which has been great. So New York, I'm sure you guys know, I'm in New York City. I've been here for about 10 plus years. It's pretty bad here right now. I think total New York has about 7,000 deaths so far in all of New York. So we are taking all the precautions needed here. I wear a mask everywhere, mask to the store, gloves, take all the precautions. I work for a very large hotel. We are currently closed. So I'm on temporary layoff right now, but doing okay, aside from being, having cabin fever, being at home all the time, but I'm okay. Unfortunately, we did lose quite a few people at my hotel. We've actually had about 7 people die from the virus.
Wow, 7.
Mm-hmm. 7 people. So that's been really tough. But we're just taking it day by day. That's about it. Everything else is good. Loving New York City, but it's not, where I plan to be for the rest of my life. Heather and Solange would love for me to move to Canada, so that's on the list of places maybe I'll move to next. We'll see. Still single, so if anyone has anyone, I'm out here looking.
Join the club, darling.
But that's it for me. It's really great to see everybody, see everyone's faces, hear your voices. I echo the sentiment of, just seeing and being around you guys just feels like home, and it's just really nice to get to reconnect. So
it's really good to see you, darling.
Yeah, good to see you guys too. Thanks for letting me go. I do have to get going soon. I'm going to try and stay on a little bit longer, but then I have to hop off. But my best to everybody.
It's okay. You can, as I said, I'm recording this, so you can pick up the rest if you missed it on Facebook.
Great.
Thank you. Jorge, you are next, the newly married guy in the block. Let me just unmute you, and you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Ido, for the effort of keeping us together and connected.
Oh, pleasure.
It's great to see you all. Well, after With People, I went back to the university to finish my degree in communications and then got a master's degree in history. Now I live in northern Mexico. I work for a Catholic university. And a few months ago, I just took a new job at the university. And now I take care of the community service office. In Mexico, all students that make it to university are required to perform almost 500 hours of community service in order to get a degree. So now my job is to coordinate the community services for more than 300 students every semester. On my personal life, well, my life partner and I, we have been together for 26 years. Last year, he had some health issues that took him into a hospital. And because we were not related, I was not allowed to see him, to visit him, or to take any decision about him. I was not able to get any information because we were not related, we were not family. So, well, he's doing fine now, but that makes us realize that we needed to take this relationship to the next level and give some legal certainty. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Legal certainty. So we decided to get married, and we did it last month on the 21st. So it's been a 3 weeks honeymoon lockdown, but we are very happy. The lockdown, it's been pretty smooth for us because we work on the same university. So we are able to work from home, and we really appreciate that because, as Malena said, the situation in Mexico is not going to get pretty in the next weeks. So I think it's a great opportunity for the people that have the chance to stay home, because most of the people here in Mexico won't have that chance. So yeah, it's not gonna get pretty. So I guess that's it.
Okay. It's legal to get married, a gay marriage in Mexico, right? It's been for quite a while.
Yeah, in most of the states in Mexico, yeah, you're allowed to. There's just a few states that are working on it still.
Yeah.
But yeah, the state I live, yeah, we are allowed to.
Okay, so for me personally, congratulations. That made me very, very happy to see you guys get married. And yeah, any questions from the, yeah, there's the ring. Any questions from the floor? Okay, I'm going to switch to the closest thing, well, kind of a half Mexican.
Thank you.
Someone who's been right now being hassled by both a cat and a dog. Bertha, you ready? I think she's also going to give us a little update on Eric. So let me just, Bertha. Yes.
First of all, I resent that half Mexican. I'm full Mexican.
Full Mexican, okay. Full American, full Mexican.
So good to see you guys. I love seeing everybody's faces and just going around and seeing everybody. It's been so good. I don't know what to say for the update. I think that pretty much everybody kind of knows what I've been up to. I'm a teacher, and I've been teaching online and also doing the online schooling with our daughter. So that's been interesting. And I teach English as a second language. So a lot of my students are immigrants. So they're really struggling because they are struggling with resources or not receiving any support financially or medically or anything. So that's been a struggle, and being able to be there for them has been an honor, but a bit of a struggle. Other than that, we're doing good. Just we're home people, so staying at home is amazing. It doesn't affect us much, except for the traveling part. We love to travel and to go places, and we had a few trips planned, and now I don't know if they're gonna happen. So, well, some of them are not gonna happen. Going to the Olympics. Yeah, we're supposed to be going to the Olympics this summer in Japan, and now probably not gonna happen.
Wow.
So let's see what else. We've been working with Danielle a lot with Up With People. And with Up With People Junior, which probably gonna have to be hopefully not canceled but postponed for this summer, as we work with the young kids, and it's been a great experience too. So, you want to say something?
No, you can say stuff.
No, go ahead.
I don't say stuff. Most of y'all haven't seen me very much. I'm not really good at reunions, so my bad. I am a theatrical director still. It's what I went to college for after Up With People. I worked for Up With People for a long time, and then my wife and I went with Hero to work in World Campus Japan, which is kind of like a little tiny Up With People Have experience where I wrote and produced the show out there for a while. I had the honor of being able to direct off Broadway about a block from Times Square. I'm in the Directors Union and the Writers Union, and now I have a daughter who I accidentally like. So I now have to not travel as much as I used to. So I'm working with a couple schools here and trying to help build some programs here locally.
Hi, Heidi.
And I just was the host for Up With People's Cast A that just had to go off the road. But we were their first city out of staging this year up in Erie. So I got to be the other side of Up With People for once, the host organization. So that was kind of cool.
How's your health, Jake? You okay?
Accidentally, like, everybody's making
Hello?
Kind of cool. Oh God. I had mouth surgery this week, so that kind of sucks. But no, my back is eternally screwed thanks to Priscilla. And I have had an epilepsy stimulator, but it's in my spine rather than my brain, so it keeps my nerves from communicating to my brain as much, and so that helps out. And I was supposed to get another surgery in April, but that's now been canceled, so we're trying to figure out what's next. But other than that, the rest of me works. It's just the middle of me that doesn't seem to work, and that's not a great spot to not work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
I'm done. That was me.
Yep.
I'm done. That's all.
Thank
Bertha,
you.
Do you want to add anything? How's your lockdown
Well,
doing?
people
Good?
are at, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
Again,
Fantastic.
we're just staying at home and miss not seeing some friends and family, but other than that, this is awesome. So
Yeah.
and for Eric, I don't know if Wendy, are you there? Wanna jump in there with me and Danielle?
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing too good. In June, he was arrested. And he's been in courts and trying to figure out what's going on. His wife with their two daughters, are having a hard time with the situation, and they're trying to see if he's going to be able to be released on home arrest soon, so that at least he can wait for home.
Bertha, I think he actually is home right now. I think he's released pending trial.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, good.
He had to agree to appear at all of his court dates. He can't leave the state and some other conditions, but I read that he's home.
Yeah, last I heard, they were trying to get him to home, so I'm glad that he's home. So.
Why was he get arrested?
Yeah.
Why did he get arrested?
Yeah, there you go. Darren posted a link.
Oh my God. Okay.
With information.
Child porn case.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm in a gay choir, and we had 2 people already involved in something like that. I'm not that surprised about that. Okay, that's life, I call that. Okay, Bertha, anything else? Because we need to move on. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to see you all. We love you.
We love you.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Bertha. Let's switch back to Europe. And can I have Allan, who's been there forever, looking extremely bored by this point? I want to pull you out. Where are you? Where is he? There he goes. You got the spotlight. Let me just, you speak. Yeah.
All right, so my mute is off, I see. Hello, everybody. This is fantastic. Quite overwhelming, actually, to see you all this way. It's funny how globalization is putting us together, and also globalization is causing this crappy virus, so to speak. So I'm married. I have 2 kids, son who is 14 and a daughter who's 11. I posted some pictures in our WhatsApp group so you can see them there. I became a journalist, but the past 5 years I've worked at City Hall, the mayor's office. So my past couple of weeks have been extremely busy because we're translating what the authorities are telling Danish people to do during this lockdown. And we're starting to open our schools next week for kids up to 12 years of age. And there's a lot of instructions on how this is going to work that I'm helping to write on our website, social media, etc. So we've been in lockdown since March 11, so it's a month now, and our situation is pretty good. The number of people in hospitals is falling a lot, and so they're ready to reopen Denmark slowly next week. We can go out and we can shop and be outside, but all the restaurants, everything is closed like everywhere else, I think. So today I did the grocery shopping. I don't know how you guys feel doing that, but I'm like a half an hour in the store, almost not breathing when I pass people. You're like, get out of my way. It's really weird, really strange. But other than that, we're doing great. My kids are doing the assignments from school, and we're having actually a good time. I was sick myself from March 11, 2 weeks with a nasty flu. They didn't test me, but all the doctors told me it probably was the virus. I've never had a worse flu ever. And the last 3 or 4 days I had trouble breathing, but I came through it, and it's all good. It's fun to see you all again. So that's it.
So you don't recommend catching the virus, are you?
I don't recommend catching the virus to anyone. Obviously, I am worried for my parents-in-law and my own mother, who has several different chronic diseases and has had cancer, also some lung cancer. She's doing great, but you know, those are the kind of people who definitely should not get this disease. So, but it's good. Denmark is handling this quite well. I think all the people are socially distancing well and taking care of each other. Yeah, all of a sudden there's a tremendous amount of volunteer work. 10,000 retired doctors and nurses have signed up to go back into service if they're needed, which is something that's great. We are struggling getting all this protection gear as everyone else is, but I think our stocks are improving. Stocks? I don't know the word. The amounts are fine now, for now. Our beer companies have changed production to actually make this
alcohol gel.
Yes, alcohol gel. So they're producing so much of it now that we will never have a shortage of alcohol gel in Denmark. So probably we'll ship some of it abroad. So anyway, that's all from me.
I just want to say, from my perspective, the Danish Prime Minister, who is a woman, basically decided to freeze the Danish economy for 3 months by promising everyone 75% of your wages. And so all the mess that in other countries that happened about the economy doesn't really faze anyone in Denmark, because you guys pretty much sure that in 3 months, you're going to back to school next week, right?
Yes, the youngest kids up to 12 years.
Yeah, well, at least in the UK, people are looking at Denmark and saying, that's probably how we should have handled it. So there's varying degrees. Now I'm going to have...
So I just one last thing. Today, next week, our queen turns 80, and she just made an interview in a newspaper saying that climate change is not caused by human activity. So obviously, there was some other... there's some other debate going on in my country these days.
Oh my God.
We love our queen, but this is pretty crazy.
She's not necessarily the smartest of queens.
Not on this issue.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the
So
time.
from the floor, there's been several people asking you to sing something for us. Swear to God, it's not wrong to. So can you do something?
I don't. I haven't done any singing since pretty much 15 years. So I think we're gonna have to save that for some other time.
Okay.
Sorry.
A duet, you and I. We are refugees.
Let's do that someday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's move to Melissa. Melissa, who I didn't even say hello to. How are you, darling? You joined a little bit while we were in the middle of it. So let me unmute you. There you go. Good to see
Hi,
you.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually was at the grocery store, so I laughed when Allan was saying it was a little strange because that's how I felt. And Karen texted me and said, hey, we're on the call. And I said, I gotta go shower. I felt so dirty just being around people. So we've been on lockdown here, sort of a stay at home is what most of the US is doing. Since sometime in March, our kids had a week off of school for spring break, and then they just continued. And now they're out of school for the rest of the year. But every week I'm getting emails from the school that now there's assignments online they have to go do, which is kind of getting in the way.
Can you just remind us, where do you live right now?
I'm in Virginia.
Okay, and you have 3 boys?
I have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Okay,
My oldest, Allie, is 14. I have a 10-year-old, well, he'll be 11 in May, Xander. And then Braden just turned 8 in January. And our youngest, Cassie, turned 4 in October. So
cool. And what do you do?
So I kind of have one at every stage, and it keeps me busy. Right now, I stay at home with them. I am a full-time mom. I teach Allie. She's homeschooled normally, so I teach her. She's very gifted, and we pulled her after 5th grade because we felt the public school just wasn't challenging her enough. She was used a lot as the tutoring class and wasn't learning herself. So I really like that because I kind of always had a heart for teaching, so I love seeing her learn stuff and get kind of excited. My life, I also volunteer. I teach and lead a girls ministry called American Heritage Girls, which is a Christian scouting organization. And right now I helped found our group about 7 years ago. And now I am working with the teenagers in that group because they had a need for somebody who could help them learn to be leaders instead of doing the work for them. And I feel like Up With People kind of did that for all of us. It really pushed a lot of us when we were teens and early 20s to do it ourselves rather than somebody give us the answer. So I use those skills to help them. That's mostly what I do. Other than that, I am still not divorced. It is going on, I think, 27 months now of my court case, and just still not there yet. And our court case was supposed to be done in May, and coronavirus has now pushed us to October. So,
where is your husband at the moment living? Outside the house?
Yes, he moved out in March of 2018. And he has a townhouse that he rents. So we're just still, he doesn't want to pay me any support, and that's really what we're arguing about, which is what I knew for years. So we'll just keep fighting until he agrees, basically. Right now, all our money is going to lawyers, and they're getting the money instead of our kids. He's trying to force me to have to work, and in Virginia, it's a 50-50 state. So because I was a stay-at-home mom, he has to pay me now, because we've also been married for a long time. So we were married for 17 years. So that's kind of what's going on with me. But in the last couple of years, I've kind of found myself again, found my smile, and just I love helping the girls and seeing them grow and become women. And I love teaching my daughter. I also volunteer with, we are members of a couple of homeschool cooperative groups, and I volunteer and teach some of them too. I've taught art a couple of years now. I've taught science a few times. And then I've also been in with the preschool group now that I have the 4-year-old in there with us too. So I teach the teens and the preschool. It's very opposite ends of the spectrum, but I still love it. And I'm actually enjoying having the boys home from school. So that's why it kind of bugs me that the teachers are now sending work. I kind of saw this as an opportunity to finally be able to teach them the way that I think they could be taught as well, and prove that I can do it. Because that is something that my ex is also fighting us on, is that he wants all the kids in public school now, because he doesn't want me to have an influence over them. So he's trying to pull them away as much as possible. But yeah, I'm like Allan, I worry about going out. I had asthma for years as a child, so I worry about that. Many of you know my mom has breathing issues. She is at the point where she now has an oxygen tank that she walks around with. So this is very scary, and I call her every day to make sure she hasn't gone anywhere. And kind of the first couple of weeks we were on lockdown, I had to yell at her and say, "Stop going out." But yeah, so I worry about things like that. We're still juggling kids back and forth through the lockdown, so I worry about how much their dad is taking it, whether he's taking it serious, because I know at the beginning he wasn't, and he was taking them everywhere and around people. So that was highly concerning for me, but I couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, but I love seeing everybody's face, and I can't wait till the divorce is done and I have like normal schedules with the kids so I can plan to visit people and go to reunions. I'm so sad I missed it this year. I really thought my divorce would be done and I could go, but it wasn't. And now it's gonna be a whole nother year. So I just can't wait to get together and hang out and not have to stress about what I'm doing or answer to anybody about if I spent too long talking to somebody or hung out too late or whatever. So yeah,
okay.
That's about it.
Good to see you again, and stay strong, and I hope you get this divorce as soon as you can. That's a lot of your life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tamara Keiner is about to leave, so I'm gonna have to put her on the spot ASAP before she does. You're on.
You hear me?
No. We faintly hear you, so I think there's a...
Can you hear me now?
Better, but not... Can you put it by your mouth?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, it's not good enough.
Yeah, that's all I... Let's see. Now? Better?
It's not... It's very faint. Can you speak to the actual... Do you have a laptop or a phone or...
I have a laptop.
It's a laptop. It doesn't have a microphone?
Doesn't work.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hello you all. So I need to leave you soon. Living in Switzerland, teaching music, no kids, but a wonderful partner who I'm together with him for 2.5 years. We have known each other for almost 30 years. That's a little scary. It took us so long. So I'm not teaching at the moment. I mean, I'm teaching from home because we are not going to school. And so far, everything is good. I have, every once in a while, I have people from our cast in my house. And I totally enjoy that.
Yeah, I was there in November. Tamara was the best host possible. We had the best time, really. Thank you. It was a really, really good time for organizing all the concert and everything. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Any questions from the floor? Okay, it's not the great sound, otherwise I would have kept you longer, but it's really faint, and otherwise we would be losing some people. So thank you very much for staying until now. Let's go and speak to Mixo.
Bye.
I haven't heard Mixo in many, many years. Where is she? Here you are, Michaela. I think for many of us, this is the first time we're going to hear you in ages. There you are.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. Thanks, Ido, for putting this together. It's great, and it's really nice to see you all. I'm still living in Helsinki, in Finland, and I'm married. Last Monday, it was 18 years, and we have 3 kids, 2 boys. The oldest is 14, he's Nelson, and then we have Kasper, who is 12, and Rebecca is 6. After Apple People, I went to the business school here in Helsinki, and now I'm working in this gymnastic club, Helsingfors Gymnastikklubb, and we have artistic gymnastic and team gym for juniors, and then we have also seniors. And of course, that's we're not doing gymnastics right now because of this coronavirus thing. And also the schools are not open in Finland. I think we are following Denmark pretty much, and then again Sweden is a lot different from all the other Nordic countries now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Maybe that's the most important things right now. I think this situation is fine. But of course, for the children, it's hard to not have the schools and not their sports hobbies. Otherwise, for me, it's quite okay. I don't really care that much. Of course, or it feels bad about the social thing and the economics, how it will affect the world, and of course, like Finland, in our case, and doing the school thing at home. Our boys, they can do it pretty much by themselves. I'm more worried about those kids who doesn't have the same good home maybe that my kids have, the problems with alcohol and maybe beating up by their parents and so on. In that case, this is really bad situation. But otherwise, I think it's going pretty well. We have already 49 dead people from corona right now, so it's very low. But we'll see how it goes now the coming weeks. At least the schools will be closed till the 13th of May here, and after that it's only 2 weeks, and then it's summer holiday for the kids here. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. But it's really great to see all of you and to hear what's going on in your lives. And I haven't seen very many of you. Some of you I have seen during these 25 years. It's a long time.
It is. I don't think I've seen you in 25 years.
Yeah, I have been here.
Okay, next time I'm in Finland or next time in London, do tell me now. Let me know, okay?
Yeah, great.
It's really good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kiitos, I should say. And let's move to the other person in Finland, which is Katri, who joined us in the WhatsApp group just yesterday, I think. Let me put you on, Katrin. There you go.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So as Deb had notes, I have notes too, because I figured it'd be easier to have something so I wouldn't babble on. And as said, I live in Finland, and in Imatra we had a show here back in 1995. So you guys remember, hopefully, we were close to the Russian border. Yeah. And I work in a kindergarten, so I'm a nurse or a nanny, depending how you put that. And I work with toddlers under 3 years old. So I've learned today that we have a lot of teachers in this group, but I go a bit further on the other direction and work with small children. And the kindergarten I work in is open 24/7, and despite the situation, we are open, and I'm fortunate enough to work. Of course, we have less children because many parents keep their children at home, but then there are these urgent jobs, so there are people who have to go to work, and that's why they bring their children in the daycare. I'm divorced. I have 2 kids. Actually, my daughter is here. Yeah. She's 16, and then my son will be 22 this year. My son works as a fisherman, so he lives in another town and has a life of his own, so to speak. And my daughter, as many other children as well, is studying in homeschool right now. And she's a sportive girl and is part of a Finnish national junior team of bowling. Ooh. And she should have been in the Netherlands right now for the European Championship tournament, but as for the situation, she's home and unfortunately couldn't go and compete. And as Mixo said earlier, in Finland, the situation is rather good compared to, for example, Italy. My relatives there are doing quite well, but especially in the North Italy, the situation is pretty bad. So here in Imatra, actually, we have been fortunate enough not to be affected of the virus that much, even though the schools are closed and many restaurants and other places are closed as well. And what else? Well, as said, I feel fortunate that I can still work and we are healthy and everything is good, basically. Waiting for the spring. In fact, today it snowed. So here we haven't had snow all winter. So it's kind of funny that now that the springtime is closing, now we are getting the snow. But I guess...
You had no snow the whole of winter?
No, we haven't had the snow. We've had the low temperatures, yes, but it's been mostly raining. So the climate changes can be seen here as well. So the 4 seasons are long gone, and sure, in the Lapland there is lots of snow, but in here, well, we have had the snow for now, but of course it's melting away. But I guess this is my quick update, and as many have said before me, it's very good that this got to be organized, and it has been very good to see and hear all the people, and I hope we get to do some of this soon again.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let's switch to the other side again. Denise. Hello, darling. Let me unmute you. Have I managed to? Not yet. It's the other way around. Can you mute your own microphone? I think I can't do that.
Hey. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Thank
Hello
you.
Can you see this okay?
Yeah. You're in Washington State?
I am in Washington State.
Wow.
A whole home to the town where it all began.
Yeah.
In Kirkland, Washington. We have been, if this is backwards, let me know. Is this okay? Oh, good. Did that work?
Other way around, you have to flip it.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we can see
Okay, so we are the epicenter of the virus outbreak in the United States.
Yeah.
Our governor got on top of it really quickly. And we started working from home on March 4th. Our schools closed on March 12th for remote learning. And then our governor had everyone stay in place starting March 25th. I'm at home with these lovely people. I have a husband, a daughter that's 13, a son that's 9, and 2 cats. Everyone has made an appearance in this broadcast. I'm a senior executive at Microsoft for the Microsoft Developer Conference called Microsoft Build. We are turning that into a digital event, which is an interesting challenge, but we're up for it. And it's great to see everyone.
That is amazing. You are the most prepared person I've seen in this chat. If you even did the mirror one, just in case it won't come through.
Just in case. This has been a great dry run for some of the stuff we're going to be doing for Microsoft, and I really appreciate it, but more importantly, it's great to see everybody.
It's really good to see you. How are you managing yourself with all of that? Are you stressed, or are you basically all right with it?
It's really interesting. It was hard at first in Kirkland, but what's fascinating is our governor and our town is really looking for wave 2. We've hit peak of the virus, so we're seeing numbers go down largely because social distancing, but we're expecting things to ramp up again. We're not even convinced that we'll go back to school in the fall. So a lot of data scientists doing a lot of great work, and it's fascinating and it's stressful, but also the good family times at the same time. Thank you for organizing this. This is great.
Oh, thank you for sharing, really. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, let's stay in the States. We have Linda on the phone. I don't think I've seen Linda in a very, very long time. So let's unmute you. You're on, darling. Hello. Can you put the microphone closer to your mouth?
I'll turn it off. Hold on.
Yeah, that's better. Now we can't hear you.
Hello?
Oh yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm totally not prepared. I am living in Tennessee now. I have a teenager and a loudmouth cat, as you can hear. Shut up.
That's not the same thing, right? The teenager and the cat is not the same thing.
Not the same thing. Not
okay.
They are both my children, but they are not the same thing.
Yes.
My son is in high school. He's a freshman in high school. They were out for spring break when they started closing the schools, and then they extended it, and then they've extended it again. They're not going back until the end of this month. And with the way Tennesseans have been acting lately, I don't expect them to go back at the end of the year. I mean, nobody wants to stay home and do what they're supposed to do in this town. It's very disappointing.
Are you in a small town? What town are you living in?
All of Tennessee, they don't want to stay at home. Like, there's people traveling and shopping today.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You have a Republican governor?
Duh.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Tennessee. About me recently, well, I'm divorced. We were married for 15 years, and but we're still friends. We get along very well. We're blended, I would say. I get along with his new fiance very well. We're really good friends. I have a boyfriend of my own. I might keep him. I don't know.
Wow.
I've done some acting still since I came home. And, you know, that's about it. I like, you know, long walks on the beach, you know, pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
What do you do for a living?
As of right now, I'm an office manager for a flooring company. I've had an array of jobs since coming home, mostly office work and stuff, but you know, I try to do what I can. I enjoy my job. I'm the only one there, so I can't offend anybody except myself.
Yeah.
I'm big into crafting now, but I do weird stuff.
What do you do?
Well, you know, I take those cheap plastic animal skeletons and make them look real.
Okay.
I also like embroidery a lot. Actually, my ex-husband's girlfriend came to pick the kid up here, and she saw my stuff, and she was like, so is your mom a witch? And should I be afraid? And he's like, yes. And left it at that. He's got my humor.
A good buddy for crafting. I think Missy was for years doing all kind of crafts. So you can ask her about that.
Yeah. I enjoy the crafting. I've become an old lady that sits at home and with my cats and craft.
Okay, thank you. I think Jeanene is about to leave, so let's move to Jeanene quickly. Thank you very much, Linda. Good to see you.
I miss you guys.
And join the WhatsApp group, please. Okay?
I'm on it.
Oh, you're on it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Jeanene, where are you? Don't go before you talk. Oh, where is she? Is she still around? She is. Oh, there she is. Jeanene? She's not by her computer. Can somebody message her and tell her that she's going to be next when I get a chance? All right. We didn't have yet. Danielle, are you there? I don't think she's by that. Okay, Mo, you ready? Your moment in the limelight is coming up. You're on.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see you all. So I live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and where I guess I'll go through when I left Up With People. I actually went back to my job as an occupational therapist in Northern Alberta and met Doug there and married him, and he had 4 children at the time who were, well, we still have 4 kids, but at the time there were 7, 9, 11, and 13. And so I got the instant family, and we went and spent a year living in New Zealand. And then when we moved back to Canada, we moved here to Saskatoon. I've been here since 2000. And I still work as an occupational therapist. I work in neuro rehab, and my particular area of interest is working in cognitive rehab or visual rehab with lots of my clients. And I am still working at the hospital at the moment. So there's been sort of ever-changing things at the hospital. We now have a fairly strict, you arrive, you have to have ID to get in, and they watch you wash your hands as you arrive. You have to then go and change your clothes, and then change your clothes and shower again before you leave, just to make sure we're not bringing things in and out. And at the moment, my unit is still running. My outpatient program is closed down, and we're looking at trying to get that up into doing tele-rehab for some of our clients, but we still have inpatients who we see, but it's very challenging for all those people who've had strokes and brain injuries and spinal cord injuries and similar, and who are in the hospital and not able to have any visitors or close contact with their family members. So it's challenging in lots of different ways, but I feel very happy to still be able to go to work and interact with my coworkers and from a distance, and with my interact with my clients close up. And I think I'm talking too much.
So you're not really, you're not, you're
oh,
not
and I have,
lockdown, are you?
Pardon?
So you're not really in a lockdown because you're an essential worker and you continue.
Right, right, yeah. So in Saskatoon, I would say mostly people stay home, just go out for grocery shopping and out for walks and that kind of thing. People will still stop on the street at a distance to talk to neighbors and that sort of thing. My partner is also an occupational therapist, and he is working from home now because his program shut down. So they're doing tele-rehab kind of things. And yeah, I'm pretty lucky that I can still go to work every day, and also feel very lucky that we got to go out and visit with our grandkids who live on the west coast of Canada, and our son and his fiance who also live out there, and our son who lives in Montreal was out there when we were there. So our three kids that we, oops, sorry, my phone's ringing. Our three kids that we don't live in the same town as us, we got to see the week before all this lockdown started. So it's really nice that we got to visit with them.
Cool.
Okay, so happy to see all of you, and I hope you're all doing well.
Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, let's move on. Jeanene is not back there yet. Leentje, the spot is on you. I had the pleasure to meet Leentje just this reunion. It was really great to see you, darling. Really.
It was. Thank you so much for setting this up, Ido. Hi, everyone. From Belgium, the same Belgium as rules, so the same rules apply. As well, we are working from home. The boys are online schooling as well. So my husband, Sven, we've been married for 16 years. And I have two boys, one 14-year-old and one 12-year-old. And ever since I got off the road, after our year, I stayed on for another year with Cast B94, then stayed for staging, and then came back to Belgium working in HR, which I have done ever since. I'm currently working for a small supply chain consulting organization, loving the job that I do. Yes, have seen quite many of you last summer in Tucson for the reunion, which was great. It was my first reunion, and I'd love to go to the next one. Other than that, happy to be healthy with the family, making the best of the situation at home, and really good to see everyone.
What happened to your job? Because at least in here, what's the name of the company?
The one that I used to work for?
Yeah, the one.
Yes, that's right. When we met at reunion, I still worked for Thomas Cook.
Yes.
Which is a big travel company. Well, Thomas Cook went bankrupt on the 1st of October, so I lost my job, but was happy to find a new job quite quickly, and I started in November at the company that I'm currently working for.
Is it also in travel?
It is not in travel, no, it's in consulting, which I've also done before I joined Thomas Cook, so good to be back in technology, and yes, loving it so far.
Good. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good to see you all.
Thank you. Let's move to Flo. And he goes, Arr! I'm looking to all the people that still haven't spoken to, and apologies it's taken so long to get to everyone, but we're going to get to everyone.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, guten Abend.
Guten Abend. Hallo von Deutschland. Thank you for setting this up, Ido. It's been a great pleasure to see all the faces and hear all the voices that I haven't heard in such a long time. Actually, I wanted to attend the reunion last year also, but my life has been kind of crazy over the last year, and so I couldn't make it. But starting in 1995, I went back home. Actually, I went to Hamburg to go to go to the same school that Claudia went, actually, to see if I should do some musical, and then I went there to just see and went through admissions, and then decided not to do it. To go back and actually start working in my parents' family. I started, how do you say that? I forgot the word. Wirtschaft, whatever, business school. I went to business school and entered in my parents' company in 1997, and still working for that. It's my company since 2006, and trying to do my best actually ever since. Actually tried to do my best until last year, until I had I don't know the word in English actually, I had a personal breakdown actually. So a couple of topics going on, and actually spent almost half a year in a hospital for psychological ill people. Came out in October, and ever since tried to kind of figure out my life, and try to find out what I can do besides just working 70 hours a week, which I did before, and trying to find out all the different things that are in life that I can do. The company is working well, still working. We're doing cosmetics. Actually, right now we're into production of what's the word? Disinfection products.
Alcohol gel.
Alcohol gel, right. So there's a lot to do right now. And so far I'm not talking too much about Corona, but as the owner of a company, it's kind of a hard thing. So we're still producing, trying to stay online, and trying to set up all the production stuff with the leftover people that are still working actually. Yeah, I'm married actually since 2002. I got two precious girls in the age of 15. Her name is Marie, and 17, her name is Madita. But a couple weeks ago, actually, I moved out, and I live in my own apartment right now. And I'm not divorced yet. I don't know if I'm going to get divorced. Still, that's one topic I'm trying to find out right now. So I'm kind of having a hard time right now, but I bet it'll be going better someday. Yeah, trying to keep myself up, and it's great to see you guys all.
Is this period more difficult because you are now in this Corona situation and you're away from your family and all that?
Well, it probably all comes together actually. The Corona, I'm in my home office right now, which is not a real good thing for me, because I tend to lose structure over the day. So I'm not in the company. I go there for like 2 days a week, and the rest of the time I spend at home. But of course, being alone is something that I hadn't had over the past 20 years. So that's kind of a new situation, and I'm trying to get used to it. And of course, Corona doesn't help with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that I can sympathize with you, because I'm also on my own, and going through the coronavirus during this period. Almost all the people that spoke here obviously have families, and that's a very different experience than when you're doing it by yourself. It's different.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I don't have family. I see my family. I see my wife. I see my kids like once a week or something. But still, it's a new situation, and of course I miss my girls, and of course I miss the family situation. I know how it is to have a family, and of course now it's different without it.
Sure. Okay. I'm sure everybody sends their love to you, and hope that your situation will improve as soon as possible, and you get that big smile back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you all.
It's good to see you. And if you can, are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, let's move back to North America and Canada again, and we have Heather. Heather Downey. Yes, it's your turn, darling. Let me just put you up. Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Well, first, Florian, thank you for being vulnerable. I think that's hard. And I think that that's what makes these things real. So thank you for doing that. I don't know. I stink at this stuff, partly because I look back and I think I was 18 when we went, and Heidi spoke, one of the first people, and she said something like, it seems like forever ago and that she's changed. And I'm like, oh my word, I hope I've changed. And I have. So that's good. I've changed a lot, and some of it was forced and some of it was intentional. But I've grown up because I was 18, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I had a 17-year-old daughter lying beside me, and I think their brains just are not formed, and they're set in situations where they make adult or not so adult decisions inside a 17-year-old brain. And that was me from a tiny little town in Canada. I hadn't ever left home, and yeah, it was crazy. So I'm a different person than I was then, for sure. I teach nursing at a university here in Calgary. Solange is still my person. My daughter is named after her. We're lucky enough to live not far from each other. We see each other regularly. And what else? I teach nursing. I have 4 kids. I have a 17-year-old girl and triplet 14-year-old boys. I'm the smallest in my house. Over this last little time of isolation, I've been thinking I'm glad I accidentally had 4 children because they have lots of playmates. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. My kids are super athletic. All they do is play sports. And so that's been a loss for us, but in the perspective of what is loss, I really can't complain, because if what we're complaining about is the fact that we don't get to go watch our kids compete, then that's not really something to complain about. We're pretty set, so I'm thankful for that.
How's the lockdown affecting you at all? You personally? You still go
Yeah.
to teaching, right?
Yeah, so I teach at a university, so we're trying to shift all our courses online. So today I was practicing recording myself and then listening back to it over top of my PowerPoints, and I don't like how I sound, but yeah, that's my new world, and I'll figure it out. My husband works for the government, so he's considered essential, but he can work from home. So yeah, we're all 6 of us in our home trying to navigate it together, but inside of hard, there's lots of good. So
what is the name of the place you live?
I live just outside Calgary in a little community called Strathmore. When I got pregnant with the litter, is what I call the triplets, we moved here, and because my husband grew up on a farm near here, and yeah, we just needed to be closer to family. My parents live now, my parents and all my sisters and Solange and my husband's family, we all live literally close. So we're just surrounded by our people. So we're really lucky.
But you really had a triplet?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a picture of them on the group chat. Yeah, they're 14. They're all bigger than me.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a surprise, but a really, really good surprise. I honestly think that I needed to grow up, and I needed to, I needed some reality checks, and I think I got a few. One was 3 babies at one time and a 2-year-old.
Was that the first one?
No, my daughter was 2 when they were born.
Okay, so after that, you're like, that's it, not anymore.
Oh yeah, like seriously, my husband, during the doctor's appointment, when they told us, he asked if they could tie my tubes. And the doctor was like, I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask right now. But it was a legit question. And then when our triplets it's actually Linda, I don't know if she's left yet, but Linda and I have connected over the last year, because when my boys were 14 months old and my daughter had just turned 4, she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I know Linda's son was recently diagnosed with that as well. So we've connected over that as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You look great, darling.
Thank you.
You do.
Thank you.
Much better than the 17 or 18-year-old that I remember back then.
Oh, well, that's good. That's not bad for adding 25 years.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to see you and speak to you. So I guess it's inevitable that we're going to have to move to Solange now. So we keep in the same space. Where is she? Is she? Yeah, there she is. Solange, you ready for your spotlight? There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hold on. I got to put this on gallery view. I don't like looking at myself, that huge screen. This is awesome. Thanks, everyone, for all this time. It's a great way to spend an afternoon during the pandemic. It's too bad it took all this to bring us together, but yeah, it's really good to see everybody. Everybody looks great, and it's good to catch up with all of you. Yeah, I'll keep it, I guess I'll try and keep it brief. I think there's still quite a few people that have to go. So I'm in Calgary, Alberta. So as you know, Canada is a pretty big country. So if you're not aware exactly where that is, we're in Western Canada, just kind of above Montana and Idaho, I think. And we all traveled to Canada, but that was like a 3.5-hour flight from where we are now. We all traveled there. It was to Ontario. So yeah, I'm in Calgary. I'm married, have been married for almost 19 years. I actually met my husband through Heather. So that long ago, I went to visit her. She was going to university in Kamloops, and I went to visit her, and I met my husband on campus there with her. He was a friend of hers at the time. So yeah, I'm married, and I have 2 teenage daughters. So they are 14 and 16. And I think it was Brooke was asking about teenage girls. I don't know, I think they're awesome. They, right now, like in this time where we are right now, I think I have it pretty easy because they are teenagers. With school and everything, they're honestly, like, I would not say I'm homeschooling at all. The schools have been awesome, sending them, you know, assignments, everything they have to do, and they just keep on top of it. I've had to help a bit with math, grade 8 math, which thankfully I can still do. I think any higher, and I might have some trouble with that. And then with some French, my daughters are French, so I can somewhat help them with that, although their French is way better than mine now. So yeah, so they're good. My husband is an essential service worker as well. He's a detective with the Calgary Police Service. So in that sense, we're very fortunate. He, you know, he's working, he has a job, and even more so, he actually can stay home and work quite a bit too. He has had to go in a few times when he's on call for the city, but a lot of what he does, he can do from home. So that's nice. He doesn't have to go out.
Does he catch criminals, you mean?
Well, it's kind of funny yeah, he does, but it's kind of funny what they're doing now. If you're a criminal, it's probably a good time to be a criminal because they're taking the investigations only so far. So they're going basically up to the point where they would have to go serve a warrant or go find you and go arrest you. And then they're kind of like, okay, we're just going to put that aside for now because everything's backed up. The courts are backed up. So there's really no point. And unless it's, I mean, if it was something serious, like, you know, if it was a major crime, they would go do that. But if it's not like an urgent thing, then they can sort of just shelve it, kind of take it to the point where they're ready to arrest and then leave it there for whenever this gets better. So that's how he's doing. I have my own company, just a small company, so I work from home, so I'm fortunate in that sense. There's really no difference for me. I've always worked from home. do PR and media relations and communications. The downside is we've lost quite a few contracts. You can't really do PR in a pandemic because what we do a lot of is getting our clients in the media. So obviously the only thing in the media right now is coronavirus. So we're fortunate one of our clients is the Business Development Bank of Canada, and they're pretty huge in the economic measures that the country is putting forward right now. So they've had us do a bit of work, but on the flip side of that, what we usually do for them is we put the word out for them and we get them interviews. But right now, everybody wants to talk to them because they're the ones that are putting forward the economic measures for small business. So they don't really need us because all the media outlets are going to them. So basically we've had a pretty major slowdown with our business, but I don't know, I'm honestly not stressing. We are totally fine. We're lucky, I think, in Alberta. I mean, in Canada too, I don't want to say we've had the luxury, but this whole thing came to us a bit later than everyone else. So we did have the luxury, I guess, of kind of watching it happen and maybe a little bit more time to prepare. So, and I think, I don't want to speak for all the Canadians, but I think we have a lot of faith in our government, both federal and provincial. And no matter who you voted for, like in normal times, I'm not a huge fan of Justin Trudeau, but I think he's doing an awesome job right now. And I think our provincial premier is doing an awesome job. And I think our healthcare is handling everything really well right now, our health system. So I do think, like, I'm a news junkie, so I've been watching what's happening everywhere else, and I think we are very lucky just where we are in this whole thing. It looks like Alberta and British Columbia are already starting to flatten the curve. They don't want to, jump to any conclusions and say it's all okay now, because it's not. We realize that, and our government's taking everything really seriously. So even though we want to get the economy up and running, because obviously economy's spiraled downhill, they're following public health measures first. So they're not gonna jump back to business before it's safe to do so. So yeah, I think overall we're pretty fortunate to be where we are in this whole thing right now.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. And are you in the WhatsApp group as well?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Let's go south back to America, the United States. Jeanene, let's pick you up. Sorry you had to leave, but you're back with us now. So let's unmute you. You're on.
Okay, hi everybody. This has been so nice. Of course, I saw some of you at Reunion last summer, and I really enjoyed that. Where do I start? Well, I live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. For those of you who don't know, that's it's in the South. It's, you may know about Raleigh. It's outside of Raleigh. Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina. I don't know if y'all know about that. But anyways, I'm working in public radio, the local NPR station here. I've been in public radio for about 15 years, and I do sales. So kind of like Solange was talking about marketing and kind of some of the impact that she's seeing, and being a PR person, I see that on my end as well, being a salesperson. We've lost a lot of money in terms of contracts and events and things that were being promoted, but thank God I'm not commission-based, so I'm not feeling the financial impact. I am married, been married 15 years, and I'm ready to be divorced. Let's just say, long story, but it's just, we need to end it. And yeah, just one of these days, I'll be a lot more happy when it ends. You may see the beautiful picture in the background. That's my daughter. You've probably seen her pop in a little bit. She's 7, and her name's Ariel. So I was a old mama too, had her at 40. Let's see, and she is in the Mandarin program. So she's learning Mandarin. It's actually a Mandarin school. So part of her day is in Mandarin, parts in English. Of course, now we're dealing with the homeschool issues, and that's been very challenging because her school is doing online stuff for 2nd grade and above, but not for kindergarten or 1st grade. So that's been very hard. But luckily through her after school program, she's gotten a little bit of online instruction, especially for Mandarin and math, which she really needs. For fun, I'm a Girl Scout leader. I'm a co-leader. I got roped into it because of my daughter. And she also does Taekwondo. And not singing much right now. Of course, you all remember how much I love singing and being on mic groups and things like that. But since her, I had to take a break. But I really miss it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Ariel, you want to say hi? Oh. Come on, come say hi real quick. Sure. Come say hi, real quick, quick. Say hi, I'm Ariel.
Hi, I'm Ariel.
Hello, we saw you at the reunion. Yeah.
So she is the light of my life. I thank God every day for her. And it's been great just to get all these wonderful updates from everybody. Thank you.
And you live in North Carolina?
Yes.
And how's your lockdown there?
Well, we've been in lockdown since about mid-March. And our numbers, I think they say we should be starting to flatten within about a week or 2 weeks. And it's bad, but it's not as bad as other places. I'm most worried about my dad. He's in New York. And like Renee said, it's kind of like the epicenter here. And the only good thing is that he's with a lot of family and he's not the most social person in the world. And he's in Brooklyn with his brother and sister and a big house. So, you know, he's going to be okay. He doesn't have any major medical issues. And I think as long as he stays contained, he'll be okay. Unfortunately, my brother passed away a few months ago. So I don't have my brother anymore. And my mom passed away back in 2010. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So that's about it.
Okay. So wishing that your dad will stay safe and healthy.
Yes.
And you too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Pray, please send me some prayer. I need some prayer, especially when it comes to the marital situation.
Be strong.
Yeah.
That's life. Okay.
Yep.
Christine, she's out there having a lot of sun. Can you hear us?
It's I'm in California, so it's pretty warm here. I live in San Luis Obispo, which someone was from 1,000 Oaks. It's probably another 2 hours north of there, so I'm 3 hours north of LA. And I'm a chiropractor by trade, but I haven't practiced in probably 10 years. I have a med spa and I own a pain clinic. And the med spa is closed right now, but the pain clinic is essential. I have 2 kids and I've been married 17 years. And everything's been pretty good. Haven't seen anyone from Up With People since it's happened. We just yesterday where we have to wear the masks and if we go into a store, things like that.
Can you hear us? I think your bandwidth is very low. Can you hear us?
Okay, can you hear? Yes. Not really. I can hear you now.
We can hear you. The video is frozen because the bandwidth is low.
Oh, sorry about that. This is my phone.
That's okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of all I've been up to. So I just own the pain clinic, just a medical clinic.
Are you still working then?
My staff is. I haven't worked in a while, but my staff is still there, and I go in to see if anyone's scared or nervous or doesn't want to work anymore, and they're all just happy to have a job, So, yeah. So it's, I think overall California has done really good as far as the virus goes, and being preventative.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Flo is also leaving, so bye, Flo, before you leave. And let's move to, I think Kalin has been waiting patiently there and sipping a lot of wine while we were waiting for you. You're on, darling.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So good to see you all.
Well, what's to say about here? I live in Zurich, in Switzerland, doing home office. I work at the police in another area, not Zurich. So I work in the back office, so it's pretty okay to do homework. I do some trips, motorbike trips. I visited Rule 2 years ago. We wanted to go to Norway this summer, but it's probably not going to happen. We plan to visit Allan. We actually still planned it in January and wanted to talk to him, and then we kind of delayed it, and so now it's probably not going to happen. So we stay here. It's for me, it's pretty okay, this whole situation, especially because I'm not very scared about my job. But I have other friends who are really struggling with little things or not things coming in. And I'm really glad my brother is back, because he was in Sri Lanka and he got the last flight back. So that was really close that he couldn't come back. And otherwise, the peak is probably reached here in Switzerland. So in 2 weeks, they're probably gonna start opening again. We don't know with what it will start to open. So we're very much looking towards Denmark and other countries who start to open the lockdown. I am pretty much worried about society afterwards here, because I think there are lots of different sides that are starting to instrumentalize this whole crisis to their topics, to their agenda that they want to push. Otherwise, my family is good. My niece also was in isolation because she had the virus, but just got out now 2 days ago, so she's fine. She only had very light symptoms. And my parents are still okay. I go shopping for them and bring it to them and see them in distance. So that's kind of okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much for the update. Good to see you. Did you enjoy this? Well, how much did you drink from the bottle?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Not so much, 2 glasses of wine.
Okay. I'm not saying anything.
And Paul was here too, my boyfriend, so he also drank part of it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Yvonne, let's get back to you. Hopefully your party is over by now. You look all dressed up normal now, finally. Floor manager, you're on. Yes.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't have 2 glasses. I only had 1.
No, I didn't say you had 2 glasses. I said you're back to wearing normal clothes.
That's what I said. So the first thing is, I have to admit, a terrible sin.
Yeah.
A tragic thing. Well, you all, or many of you, were at the reunion of Cast B. I betrayed you all. I'm a traitor. I went to Cast C.
Yes.
It was brilliant. We went to Spain, at a beautiful place, and had a party for, what, 4 days? 4 days. And the worst is, I didn't share anything of it. This is the first time I'm with you again here. So it's good to see you all. Do you guys toggle also always back to the gallery view? Or do you leave one face in front of it? I always toggle back to the gallery view because it's so fascinating. Like, while somebody's talking, right, you can see all the reactions of everybody else. Like, I think it's the most interesting part of Zoom here. Allan, I see you. I see you over there. Roll, stop that beer. And Dan, your facial expressions, a little bit more animation, please. Ido.
Yeah.
What's with that T-shirt? Come on, dress up for a Zoom meeting like this. At least a shirt.
It's hot.
In where?
In London, and I actually was working out like 45 minutes before we started this. Oh, it was all.
Yeah, working out. Mhm.
Okay. Enough floor manager talk. Now, can you give us the update? Nothing new.
About my life?
Yeah. Some people haven't seen you for 2 decades.
Yeah, that's this is my daughter here.
Hello.
She wants to live in the United States of America, which I don't understand at all. This is, you're talking to 40 people now.
Oh, cool. Hi.
26 actually.
So Serdi, which you might know, my wife, she traveled in Cast C. That's why the thing is, my son is 17. My daughter is
I'm 14.
14.
Do you want to come see my wall? I just took off the tape.
Yeah, one moment.
And can you help me clean up?
No,
Why not? It's just, please.
go away. And so we lived in the US for a while, and now we live back in Switzerland. And my daughter, she hates it. My son loves it. So we're kind of split in the middle, and I don't know where it's going to end up. She wants to go back. I'm going to stay here for sure. So our family is kind of like everywhere. That's it. Questions?
What do you do for a living?
Oh yeah, I'm one moment.
This guy, I think he had a few too many drinks before he came live. He's back. Yeah?
If you ever want to take great pictures.
What, are you working with Leica?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
This is it. Great picture.
Doing marketing and communication for Leica?
You're asking me?
Are you doing marketing and communication for Leica?
Yeah, that's it. That's it, you know.
I didn't know. It was just a guess. Really?
You didn't know, huh?
No, I didn't know.
No. Okay. But yeah, we had a great dance party. Sorry, I couldn't join all the time, but we actually had a Zoom dance party. You should try it. Like, we had plenty of people coming in and listen to the same playlist and then just dance to it. It's the weirdest thing, but the greatest thing at the same time, because, you know, so I had to leave for a while, but now, yeah, after, what was it, an hour and a half, it's done.
And
you guys were talking for an hour and a half?
It wasn't a dry party, was it?
No, no.
So what was the gin and tonic or vodka rum? What was that?
No. Just cheap wine.
Oh.
Cheap wine. And some other things, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, I know some people have more deep things to share. Sorry, not for me.
No.
Just all.
There's just a few.
Just our superficials.
I left at the end, and they want to speak, and there's a few more single people. So thank you very much for joining us and for forcing us to mute you the whole time. Otherwise, we get the music in the background. And I hope I'll see you soon in person.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
And you guys, you look all beautiful, like always. Beautiful.
Grazie. Thank you.
Especially Allan. Allan, you're my favorite.
Thank you, Ivan. See you soon. And I think I have Jess from Iowa, who's been waiting quietly there. You're on, darling. Now, yes, you're on. It's good to see you again.
How's everybody doing? So yeah, Jess from Iowa. I'm a teacher, and I get to teach in the luxury of my own home. So my fantasies about being a stay-at-home dog mom are now realized. It is wonderful. And actually, no, it's not wonderful. The day I found out that we were going to be closed at least till the end of the year, look at this face. It doesn't cry very often. I cried. because it was really pretty sad thing. Lots of trauma and poverty in my area, so school is kind of an escape for a lot of the kids, and I just felt really, really bad for them. But my district has kind of a cool setup here and how they're going about it, and I think we're going to be able to make it through and getting some cool things planned. The thing that just kind of blows my mind is that when I do harness up and I get the little face mask on, my gloves, and the hazmat suit and all that stuff, there's still some guy out there who's working for a ridiculously retarded minimum wage to hand me my bag of chips and my, I don't know, salsa or whatever I need, because they're considered essential workers for whatever I want out there. And I really think that along with the medical staff that's taking care of all my friends who have been infected with COVID-19, they're out there doing a hell of a job for all of us here, at least around where I live. So I'm super appreciative for those folks too. Some things about COVID-19 for me. I have been experimenting with my dog's grooming supplies. Now I do have hat heads, so for the record, you're not gonna find much greatness happening today. But all in all, I don't feel like it's going too bad with the haircuts. So I feel like I'm doing all right on that front. Back in December of 2018, I got scalped, so that's pretty cool. My steering wheel actually took my forehead off, and I ended up with a scar that looks like the Wonder Woman headband.
Did you get the superpower too?
Huh?
Did you get the superpowers too?
I always had those, Ito. What the fuck? God. And it sliced there. I just I've got some street cred in my hood. That's right. Oh yeah. I have doggy dance parties, and they actually appreciate my singing and dancing, unlike you guys. So that's pretty cool. My cat's not so much. You pretty much heard what's up with California in terms of COVID-19. It's kind of varies from county to county, but it's mostly the same. So I saw a lot of you at the reunion. Really nice to see all of your fabulous faces here and hear all your wonderful voices. Ooh, new cool thing with me. I'm working on my doctorate in educational leadership. I can't remember who said they're working for Pepperdine, but this is my career path. I can't afford to go to Pepperdine, but I want to go to Pepperdine. And I also don't have a body of research. Oh, hi, Brooke, you're at Pepperdine. Okay, so I can't afford to go to Pepperdine, and I don't have a body of research that will get me admitted to Pepperdine. So I'm going to a different school to get the body of research so that I can get a job with a board of directors that will pay for me to go to Pepperdine. And the reason I want to go to Pepperdine is because somebody has to replace that asshat that's Betsy DeVos, and why not me? So there you have it. Now, yeah, I know, right? Yes, I'm seeing some, yes, power to the people, yo. So here's the thing. I just wrote a paper where I actually quoted in APA format Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby. And I'm not saying that this is the reason, but I did get 100% on that paper.
That's a great anecdote. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anything else you'd like to add, darling?
No. What else is there, Ito?
I don't know. Just in case. You must have made lots of notes. I know you. None. Exactly. Thank you very much. So we have two double bills who've been very, very patient. So let's move for the first one. Dan and Nicole, 2 for the price of 1. And you're under Dan and Nicole.
Well, we're going.
You're on.
Hi.
Where's Dan?
He's cooking dinner for our boys. So he told me I could talk for both of us, so that's okay. So we are surviving. Both of us are in education. I work in a middle school. So for 4 weeks now, we have been doing online instruction. Me for my own students, and then we take care of, we have 2 boys. One is almost 13, so he's in 7th grade, and one is in 2nd grade. And Dan works at, there he is, with his Up With People World in Motion shirt. So we are doing the online education of our own students and also homeschooling of our own children. So it has been an adjustment, to say the least, but we are making the best of it and enjoying some time with not the craziness of a schedule of going to sports and karate, Boy Scouts and things like that, and just trying to take care of everybody. So
yes.
Yes. That's the homeschooling bit.
yeah, Dan does 2nd grade. He's getting really good at 2nd grade, and I take care of 7th grade. So, but it's, yeah, it just, you know, it's very interesting right now. We're in kind of shelter in place here in Western New York until the end of April. You know, it will be probably a lot further. I just feel for my students that are in 8th grade and they're going to high school next year, and if I don't get to say goodbye to them, that's awful. And kids who are graduating from high school and they're not having their prom and all of their senior activities. So just kind of thinking of them and keeping it in perspective for us.
What do you think about the way your governor is dealing with the whole crisis?
Governor, I used to hate him, and now I wouldn't say love, but I like him a lot more. Our president is what's
happened?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's all
Florian's sharing his screen with us, so I don't know what's going to come up, but
what the hell?
Florian's taking over.
I need to fix this.
Oh no, not Florian. I'm sorry, Yvonne, the floor manager.
What the hell? Thank you.
So our president is a joke. As those of you that were at the reunion, it was amazing to connect with all of you this summer and just build relationships that, you know, had been such a long time. Our president is a joke. Our governor is, I've seen him as a human being, which in the past years that he's been our governor, I've never thought that he had a kind of human bone in his body. So, which has been nice. But there's a very big difference between New York City and Western New York, where we live. And so we are about 3 weeks behind New York City in kind of the path of this virus. So even though right now New York City is kind of reaching a plateau, we are still continuing to escalate in not only cases, but also deaths. So that's a little scary.
Wow. Okay. So you feel a bit of stress, but you feel you're lucky yourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We live in a pretty small and rural town, so you know, we can get out and walk, and we live in a small village, so it's not real crowded. There's not a lot of people, so it's pretty easy for us to be outside and get out and walk around. And there are some stores we can get to, but we limit as much as we can to get out, you know, to go out to those stores and things like that. So it's been 3 weeks, and it looks like it's
been 4.
3 to 4 weeks.
We should be in Aruba right now
Yeah.
at a wedding on the beach. So.
We were supposed to be in Aruba today for a wedding, so that was canceled a few weeks ago.
Wow.
So it's been tough, but we're managing and we're healthy and we're good, so we get through.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. It's good to see you guys.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Ida.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. It's really cool. All right. So the penultimate interview, because I haven't spoken yet, so I guess I will be the last one. But we have the other cast couple, Chris and Elizabeth, and you are on.
Hello, Elizabeth from Alaska, and shortly after a year I married this guy, Chris Bex. I'm going to put this back on the gallery view so I can see you guys too. And we had 3 little monkeys. I'm going to introduce them to you real quick. Come here, kiddos. So this is Matthijs. He's 11, and doesn't he look just like him? Totally. And Daniela, and she's 13. Thank you, Daniela. And Mariana. She is 16. Come on, a little closer. And would very much like to get her driver's license, but that's kind of on hold at the moment. Thank you, kiddos.
And which are you in Anchorage?
No, we're in North Pole, which is right in the center of Alaska, next to Fairbanks. So we're way late to the bus as far as COVID goes. If we want to jump straight there, we got like 50 people having COVID. Everything's closed down. Our governor's recommended that we sit tight, but this is Alaska, so we're out skiing and that kind of stuff. There's no reason, like, you don't see anybody. And everything dies outside. It's too cold still. Today is our first day where we're above 40 degrees.
Oh my God.
And it is a
it's
hard.
Above freezing. It is barely above freezing.
Yeah.
We still have 2.5 feet of snow, so that's about 1 meter of snow still on the ground. It's going to take a long time before we see anything. This is our first sign of spring, which is wonderful.
The timing of this has been really bad. We generally have a lot of cabin fever and suicides come February, March. And so when you tell people they can't have friends either, it's a little bit rough. But today it's warm and it's melting and there's water dripping off the roof. So I think today in Alaska, everybody's happy. It's really nice. So as far as what we do, I'm a teacher. I work at North Pole High School, home of the Patriots. Whoop. And I'm the junior class sponsor, so I just canceled prom. And right now we're working on graduation. We're going to do a parade. It's okay. It's going to be pretty awesome. Everybody be in the car, then hop out, walk across the stage, wave. We'll be on local TV. So we got plans. I think it'll be pretty cool. I teach kind of the upper level kids. I have the honors kids when they're coming in for science, for biology, and then I teach AP biology and forensic science, advanced forensics, and human anatomy. So I teach them pretty cool stuff.
And what about what's that dude doing, the guy next to you? What does he do?
So I work for the University of Alaska in Fairbanks, and I'm a what's known as an instructional designer. I work for the e-learning department of the university, and I help faculty members run and design their online courses. And so my department all of a sudden became the most popular department at the university 4 weeks ago. So very busy for me, but a lot of fun. And I'm part of a 12-man team that they're all instructional designers. So yeah, lots of fun. And then in the summer, as many of you have seen pictures, we grow peony flowers on our farm with Elizabeth's parents and at North Pole Peonies. And so that's our summer gig, and we'll see what happens. This state is in for a world of hurt. Most of Alaska, or a good portion of Alaska, and the people in Alaska work or in the oil industry or in a related field. And if you don't work in there, you usually work in tourism. And so both of those industries are pretty hard hit at the moment. And so we don't really know what's happening. Due to our jobs at the moment, we feel pretty safe. But yeah, we have a lot of friends and other family members that work in different industries. So yeah, it's not.
So were you saying that in the summer you're selling flowers?
Yeah. Cut flowers. Yeah.
How ridiculous is that in Alaska? I know.
I didn't know Alaska does flower. Amazing. What kind of flowers is that?
So the peony flower is a huge fluffy flower that that grandma usually had in her garden. So the big, beautiful, very pink, bright pink flowers usually.
Okay. I learn new things every day.
Yeah, actually, we shipped to the UK last year.
Yeah, you can buy our flowers right outside your door.
Yeah.
I'll look it up in the supermarket next time. Thank you, guys. Anything else we didn't cover? Anything else?
Nope, we miss you. It's good hearing you.
Thank you, Ido. This is great. So nice to organize.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you so
joining,
much.
and you were there for like, this is a long conversation, so Thank you guys.
It's a lot of sitting.
So I guess it's kind of down to me to close this off because I didn't do mine. So I'm gonna unmute everyone who stayed, all the 25 brave people here. So I'll give my own thing, and you can jump in and ask anything you want. So I have moved to the UK in 2005 after I've done my MBA in Holland, Rotterdam, after I've moved from Israel in 2003. And I've been working ever since in banking, building on my background in law and IT. And I currently work for a small private Swiss private bank called EFG, European Financial Group. And I live in London on my own, in East London. And I consider myself really very lucky to be in London, have a permanent job, and I don't see them saying goodbye to me anytime soon. It's always a privilege to do work where you're coding things in a code that nobody else can read. And so if they get rid of me, they will have a little bit of a problem figuring out what I've done. So I have a job, I live on my own, and I have a place here, I have a gym in my second bedroom, which keeps me busy. So this is why I'm wearing that, because I seriously just came out from the gym just before we came online. And I am the vice chair of the London Gay Men's Chorus. That is the tagline, that it is the Europe's largest boy band. We are 300 members, of which 230 people sing in a season. And if you go to a concert of us, 180 of us are on stage. And I am, as the vice chair, I am the contract negotiator and the producer of the shows, which means that I need to juggle a budget between something like $70,000 to $120,000, depending on that. It's all a charity. I don't get paid for that. I just boss other people and telling them what they need to. Well, I'm just joking. But obviously with coronavirus, I still work from home. That's definitely didn't make any difference. In the UK, you're allowed to go out of your house once a day for exercise, and I am making good use of that. I have never really liked running, but now I run every day, something like between 5 and 7 kilometers, which I've never believed I could do at my ripe old age of 52 in 2 weeks. And of course, because of the choir and coronavirus, we had to scale everything down. We had to cancel the show in June. We are doing some online stuff, but it's impossible to run a choir in Zoom. So we're basically looking to reduce whatever we do until July, and then see if we can start the next season. I'm already in negotiation for the next contract for the Christmas show that will be in December. But that's about it. Other than that, my family in Israel is in similar quarantine. They actually were in curfew for a couple of days for Passover because the government didn't want anyone to go out for Passover meal, which happened on Wednesday evening. So you were not allowed to leave your house. That's curfew, not just quarantine. They're all fine. My mother of 81, who is obviously our worry in the family, she's doing well. My 2 sisters, their kids, it's all fine. And so I find myself, although I'm alone in my life, I am basically almost non-stop chatting to people on Zoom almost all the time. people who I normally wouldn't really connect with. And this is a good example, by the way, of the outshoot of coronavirus, because I don't think that we would have done this if we didn't have this. And so there are always silver lines in the silver lining. Yeah. Other than that, I feel very, very blessed. I am still single, still looking. And who was the other person that was looking? Maybe we need to have a
Renee.
Yeah, Renee. Yeah, Renee and I are like the eternal singles in this, and it never changes. I go to New York every time, and she's like, "Oh, I had a boyfriend that time, and it's gone." And it's similar with me. Yeah. Any questions from the floor?
I can't wait until I wake up doing this.
No. Okay. So I think now the party should begin. Oh, thank you very much, Denise. Thank you. This was thank you so much. So I think it's a good time to unmute everyone and just have an open conversation, because
what we would do without Denise.
Denise, are you printing those as we go?
What? Thank you. Your feedback was you're mirroring Allan.
Awesome.
They can see you though.
Oh yeah, no, okay. Thank you, Ido. Kind of. Thank you guys. I mean, outside the fact that my bladder is very much in dire need to go and release itself, it's been a pleasure.
We could turn it into a virtual happy hour for a second. Everybody could grab a drink and we could do a toast.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go grab my drink. Hold on.
Tequila.
So cheers, Cast B, and see you soon and Zoom.
Finally, you guys are joining in. I've been cheersing all night.
Ivan, I think we kind of picked it up that you had a few glasses. Before you started talking. Yeah, you.
I know all of them. I know all of them. Yeah, I know him.
I know. You don't know me.
Hi, Ariel.
I was just talking to Jorge too. He said that he wanted to join us, but he couldn't do it. He was at work and he couldn't work it out. So he gives everybody a big hug and all his love.
Who's that?
Is that Bertha?
Julio. Julio.
Yeah, he couldn't. He was at work and he couldn't join the Zoom call, but he sends everybody his love.
I chatted with Martine today.
To work on Saturday night, on Saturday morning. I mean noon. What does he do?
He works for a construction company.
Okay.
They're in architectural design. Yeah.
Any more updates from other people that we didn't touch base with today?
Yeah, Heather said to say hello to everyone. She couldn't join the call. She's in New Jersey. Has 2 daughters.
This is Heather.
Heather. What?
Hogan, right?
No. Yes. Heather Hogan.
That's her name.
I only know her last name now, so I forgot.
And I did, by the way, notice that Jennifer Buckman was on the line.
She was there in the beginning for a second, yes.
She was. That is one person I haven't spoken since the reunion, I mean, since the year. But I do remember.
She lives here in Colorado. She lives in the mountains. I haven't seen her, but she lives in Aspen or something like that.
No. She's up in I don't know, Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of Curly. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, you're thinking of Tyndall.
Good. I saw her the other day. She's in Aspen. She's a florist.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Buckman has her own ski mountain in Pennsylvania with her husband's.
Really?
Yes.
So they're struggling with climate change because it's been a tough winter for them. They've had a lot of rain, not enough snow, and so on and so on. So yeah.
So you keep in touch with Jennifer Buckman on a regular basis?
No, I just follow her on Facebook.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Her ski life looks beautiful. Like
As
where
a
they
ski
live.
instructor, I have a bit of a different interest maybe, but yeah.
It's skiing, obviously.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just skiing and wooden houses. She has a log home as well. It's just like proper log thing going on in her house. So yeah. I chatted with Martine today on Facebook, and she kind of wanted to be here, but her mom is not. She's okay, but not really well. And she had her birthday today, so they're having an online birthday party because her mom has her immune system is also how you say it?
Compromised.
Compromised. Thank you very much. Due to all the therapy she's going through and so on and so on. So they're having a fun night online themselves, their own Zoom meeting tonight. But she said hi to all.
Thank you. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay, I'm going to say bye to everyone. I wanted to stick around to the end. It was really good to see you all. I have to get going now. Everybody
Bye, Solange.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Bye. I leave in too.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. It's been good.
Bye.
Wait, let's just some of us stick around till Ido comes back. Just a few of us.
I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, I'll stay just a few minutes.
Ido comes back and nobody's there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's just
I would
all
say if I
stay here,
could, but
and when Ido comes back, we all leave at once.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
okay, great. Let's go. Okay.
I can always trust you, Allan, to think about me, my mother. Thank you.
Bye, Ido. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, good afternoon. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Suddenly everyone's gone.